The biggest threat to your career isn't AI, it's how you're thinking about AI.
Artificial computer intelligence will replace you. You get kicked out. Lose my job.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to shift your mindset to turn AI into your biggest advantage. I learned this the hard way. I graduated during a recession and I saw that learning new skills wasn't enough. The people who thrived changed their mindset, looking for opportunities where others saw obstacles. Eric Brynjolfsson once said, "Technology isn't destiny, we shape our destiny."
But how?
That's when I discovered design thinking, a method that says forget technology and start with empathy. You see, most AI conversations focus on the latest tools, the latest updates, but design thinking asks, what's your biggest challenge? Even Einstein believed in this idea. He said if I had an hour, I'd spend 55 minutes on the problem and 5 minutes coming up with the solution. And that mindset shift was so powerful that I actually went and pursued a doctorate to study if design thinking could be what helps us prepare for AI, and I found out that the answer was yes. Now, I did this back in 2017, and it even led to me creating a documentary, a podcast, and all of these unexpected doors opening that I didn't even think of, like interviewing Seth Godin, who I could never have imagined would say yes after an email. And one of the things that taught me, because at the same time I was working at Apple, is I really saw the difference between saying, I work at Apple versus I'm a student who's working on and then sharing my project. You see, I never had any idea that saying I'm a student would probably be one of the most powerful titles I would hold. And just noticing that changed everything. When ChatGPT launched, I wasn't afraid, and neither were the schools that we worked with to integrate AI with intention and purpose. Because you see, design thinking helps you see what others don't. And that's how you go from feeling vulnerable to being valued and feeling prepared for what's coming next. Today, I'm breaking it all down into 5 simple steps, so let's turn AI into your biggest advantage too. Hi everyone, I'm Sabba, and I've gone from teaching in classrooms to leading innovation at USC, working with Apple, and now I am helping professionals and businesses worldwide prepare for an AI-driven future. And lately, I just keep hearing the same thing. We feel behind. The pace of change is so overwhelming. I don't know where to start. And if that sounds like you, I want you to stick with me, because by the end of this video, we will have a clear step-by-step plan to make AI work for you, not against you. Because that's what you keep hearing too, right? I mean, it's everywhere. AI is going to take over 80% of jobs. White-collar jobs are at serious risk of being completely replaced by AI. AI is going to do all the coding now. Trust me, I know it sounds overwhelming. So here's what we're going to cover: why traditional career planning is broken, the 5 key steps to making yourself irreplaceable, and how real people are already using this to see new opportunities for their careers. So let's get into it. So step 1. You need to shift your mindset from worker to problem solver. You see, I first came across this idea when I read Seth Godin's Linchpin. He said, your art is what you do when no one can tell you exactly how to do it. And that was the first step in me changing my mindset toward my career back in like 2010, where instead of seeing obstacles with the recession and all the other things I was experiencing, I started to see opportunity. The problem with how they teach you about careers is that it's still as if we're like in this predictable world where, hey, just follow a clear path, climb the corporate ladder, and if you check all the right boxes, you'll be set. But today, the world is anything but predictable. And it's not just because of AI. The world has been unpredictable for the last 2 decades, if not longer. Careers are no longer linear. Skills become outdated much faster, and execution, the thing most people rely on, is now being automated. That's why Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, says we need to stop thinking about our careers as these lifelong jobs and instead start treating them as like this series of evolving tours of duty. You're not here to climb someone else's ladder. You're here to solve valuable problems and create opportunities for yourself and those around you. And that's the real key to staying relevant. Become a problem solver, not just a worker. You see, AI can complete tasks today, right? We've all heard that, but it can't define the right problems to solve, but it can help you figure out which ones you should focus on. I learned this firsthand when I was working at USC, helping to really transform their physician assistant program. At the time, everyone assumed that because students had grown up with technology, they must know how to use it. But when we first introduced iPads, now this is back in 2014, something really surprising happened. The students hated them. Now, most people assumed the problem was the faculty. As soon as I came in, they were telling me, oh, we gotta get the professors on board. But instead of jumping to conclusions, I did the thing that always works best. I started asking questions. And what I found completely changed my perspective, and the research confirmed it. These students knew how to use technology in their personal lives, but not in their academic or professional ones. You see, no one had taught them how to use it for learning, for collaboration, or for problem solving. And if I hadn't stopped to ask the right questions and I just believed what everybody around me was telling me, I never would have discovered that one insight that changed everything. So we designed a new approach, one that actually helped them integrate technology in ways that supported their learning. And guess what? 96% of the students said that it totally increased their engagement, and 98% said they would recommend iPads to other students. So what's your action step for today? Instead of focusing on what you do and what you hear everybody else telling you, start asking and reflecting. What problems do I solve? What unique insights do I bring to the table? How can AI enhance, not replace my work? What problems do people complain about? How can AI help me solve them? Because remember, we do not have to do this work alone. Using my Spark framework is exactly how you're going to go in and do this. You're going to go in and you're going to have a conversation with your AI tool. You're going to share the situation. You're going to share your current problem. But I also want you to share your aspiration, like why does doing this work even matter to you? Then I want you to tell it the results you're looking for. And last but not least, let your AI tool bring the magic, and it will share 3 to 4 ideas for how you can get started. Once I recognized how I could use design thinking with AI, everything started to change. We identify strengths faster, and we start to see potential and opportunities, like I said, that we just would have missed before. That is the same shift that I am recommending you make as well. Because when you stop seeing AI as this competitor and you start seeing it as a member of your team, you're not vulnerable to AI, you're empowered by it. And that mindset shift is when you'll start to see everything change. All right, so now we're ready for step 2, master the skills that AI can't replace. If AI can learn a skill, it's eventually probably going to automate it. So instead of focusing on skills that machines can do, double down on the ones they can't. Now, according to America Succeeds, the most valuable skills in the workplace today are not technical. They're durable skills like problem solving, communication, and adaptability. These are the skills that outlast any technology transformation and will make you completely irreplaceable no matter how fast AI gets. I want you to think about it. Steve Jobs didn't grow up with an iPhone. Jeff Bezos didn't grow up shopping on Amazon. The founders of Airbnb didn't grow up in a world where renting a stranger's home was normal. What did they all have in common? They mastered durable skills, the kind of skills that are timeless across all industries and changes. Let me show you how they use them. Let's start with Steve Jobs, communication and creativity. Now remember, Steve Jobs was not an engineer. He was a storyteller and a visionary, one that today's world really misses. He knew how to communicate ideas, build a movement, and design products that people didn't even know they needed. You see, AI can generate ideas, but it cannot lead with vision and that storytelling that's going to connect people to you and what you believe. Let's look at Jeff Bezos, critical thinking and adaptability. Bezos didn't start Amazon as the everything store. He started with books. He tested, he iterated, and adapted to new opportunities. You see, AI follows patterns. It doesn't know always when to break them and create something new. Next, let's look at our Airbnb founders, Brian and Joe. They didn't just make a better hotel, they completely redefined travel. They saw a problem no one else was solving. You see, people don't just want to stay at hotels, they want experiences. AI can optimize bookings, but it can't reimagine an industry. The people who shape industries like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, and the founders of Airbnb weren't just thinking about what people were using today. They were thinking about what they could do tomorrow. And remember, while today this is AI, we forget what a huge revolution once upon a time the App Store was. And that's when all of these people were building their businesses. And today with AI, it's your turn. And remember, they didn't do this by just staring at trends or listening to what everybody else was saying. They did it by observing people's challenges, reading in between the lines, listening to their frustrations, but most importantly, understanding people's hopes and dreams. This is why mastering durable transferable skills isn't just a competitive advantage. It is the key to staying valuable no matter how fast technology changes and no matter what anyone tells you. This keeps the big picture thinking front and center while reinforcing the power of human insight. With those 2 steps down, we are now ready to move on to step 3, which is you need to build your AI toolkit. You see, most people fear AI because they don't know how to use it. So let's fix that. Number 1, you're going to start with an AI action plan. Number 1, I want you to list the AI tools that you've used in your field because trust me, AI is everywhere, but only you are going to know which one works best for you. I need you to test 3 different AI tools and compare the results. I think ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are a great place to start, and you want to basically have a use case. So you want to make sure you have an example. For me, it's usually like a lesson plan because I work with teachers and I'm looking for, okay, who can help me be the most creative in bringing my idea to life? So I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll put the same prompt in. I'll go to Claude and put the same prompt in. I'll go to Gemini and put the same prompt in. Then I will compare and contrast results. Now, sometimes it's not even always about is one better than the other. It's like, oh, you did this really well. You did this really well, and you weren't very good at all. And we want to kind of mix and match. And that's what we mean when we say make these tools members of your team. Don't make them compete with each other the way we do with people. Let's look at what their strengths are and how we can combine and use the best of everything. Once you have one example down, I want you to then identify 5 tasks and 5 other areas that you think AI can help with so that we can start automating more and more of your day. Having AI help you in your day-to-day life is going to help you buy into AI and also see its strengths and weaknesses. Once you've done that, it's time to create a workflow. Once you kind of have a place where AI is working well, you want to map out the steps and how you're working together with a partner. What is the human doing? What is the AI doing? And what are you doing together? And if you are not sure where to start, this is exactly where the Spark framework comes in. Spark can help you create a task identification. It can help you create a workflow so that you can see how AI is enhancing your work, not replacing it. I want you to take a marketing team, for example. Instead of spending hours manually researching trends, AI can now analyze market data, customer behavior, and competitor strategies in just seconds. But the human team is still going to make the decisions, do the storytelling, and come up with the creative visions together in areas where they see AI falling short. With Spark, you are not competing with AI, you are leveraging it to work smarter, not harder. And that's the mindset shift that, again, is going to take you from feeling vulnerable to being valued. And I have a full video on how to use Spark, so I'm gonna link it for you right here. All right, now you're ready for step 4. Start small and experiment. Now, the key to staying ahead in an AI world is to don't overthink. Just get started. We learn by creating, and the best way to begin, now that you've kind of done some research yourself, is to go and start helping somebody else. So I want you to try this. Ask a friend or a coworker what challenge they're facing at work, and I want you to use the Spark framework to interview them. Get curious, ask questions. People sometimes give like surface level answers in the beginning, and start listening for patterns. While they're talking, be taking notes that later you're gonna go back and put into ChatGPT. Take the solutions and ideas, go back to your coworker and be like, which of these do you like best? Trust me when I say you are going to not only blow their mind, but you're also going to make their day by helping them. And remember, you don't have to do this for people only in your industry. Let me give you an example. I'm in education, but recently I was hosting a real estate workshop with a group of agents, and they were telling me how speed is everything in their business because they want to be able to do the best for their clients. So we showed them how to build a custom AI chatbot, and here's what one person did. During a showing or a meeting, agents basically recorded their conversation. The moment they got in the car, they uploaded the transcript to their custom GPT, which basically organized the details and the drafts all into a summary. But remember, because this was a custom GPT, it was already programmed with the instructions for how to create the summary. And right away, just like that, she was able to send out her email. Now, if you had just put this into the regular version of ChatGPT, you probably would have had to have gone back and forth and done a little bit of editing. This is where custom GPTs are super, super helpful because they already are trained on what it is that you're looking for. She said her clients were shocked to have gotten an email within 10 minutes after the showing. So remember, the goal isn't to get it to perfect, it's to learn faster than everyone else. When I left my job at Wix to start my own business, designing schools, experimenting is what gave me the confidence in the middle of so much uncertainty. Instead of one big career bet, I ran multiple small experiments to discover what worked. And now, here we are. So now it's time for you to get super, super practical. I'm going to tell you exactly where you need to be to stay ahead. So let's head to step number 5, which is all about don't keep this information to yourself, have a personal brand. And right now I personally recommend LinkedIn or Substack. And if you can, Both. Okay, look, so here's the thing. You can experiment all you want, but if you're doing all of this work by yourself, you are missing a huge opportunity. The way you are going to see continual growth and success in your career is by making sure opportunities come to you. And that is why LinkedIn and Substack are the places to be right now. In just this last year, LinkedIn and Substack have been my personal secret weapon. This is where I have just used my videos that I've already been creating for Instagram Reels and TikTok, and I've been able to get speaking engagements, clients, and resources that have helped me grow exponentially. Don't just passively learn and just keep everything to yourself. You must share your ideas, but not just the end product. Post about what's happening along the way. Post about the challenges you're solving, how you're going about thinking about something. Ask people for advice. Should I do this or should I do that? And any kind of interesting things you're reading or listening to, and any kinds of AI experiments you're trying. The more you put your work and your ideas out there, the easier it is going to be for people to be like, oh my God, I need you to come and help me as well. But before you do this, let me give you a few tips. Number one, your profile really matters. Remember, you're getting in front of people who probably don't even know who you are. So your first impression is likely going to be a digital impression. So when someone clicks your profile, you want to give them something really good to see. And if you're like, I'm ready, sounds amazing, what does a great profile look like? I have a free guide to help you optimize it. Because when done right, this is what will really make you AI valuable, meaning you're not always the one searching for opportunities because people are going to start coming to you. Building your brand is not about self-promotion, becoming an influencer or a YouTuber. It is about documenting your journey and letting others see what it is that you can help with. So the AI doesn't just make you more efficient, it's making you more visible, valuable, and in demand. You see, AI is not the problem. Staying the same is. If you're ready to take action, grab my free LinkedIn guide in the description. It is packed with step-by-step guidance. And of course, you are not doing this work alone. I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to help you. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe for more strategies on future-proofing your career. Remember, the future belongs to those who adapt. Let's do this together.